Yes, guys, welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I am Sean Butler. I hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things you love with the people that you love to do them with. Guys, I love to do this, especially when you have some bomber news late. It's 5 to 10 on deadline day eve, Thursday, the 1st of February. And ladies and gentlemen, Tottenham are massive. Not only once this winter has Tottenham gazumped, hijacked, beaten a European giant to a target player, but now it's happened twice as David Ornstein drops the news 9 minutes ago that Swedish talent Lucas Bergvall picks Tottenham over Barcelona. The fee is approaching 10 million euros, about £8.5 million plus add-ons agreed with Djurgården, and he's set to fly on Friday for the medical and to sign a 5-year deal. He arrives in the summer to join the first team squad. This is coming from the Athletic. David Ornstein doesn't say these sorts of things unless he's supremely confident. Of course, nothing is signed yet. It's not a here we go. We haven't seen the player lifting the shirt. He doesn't turn 18 until tomorrow morning. And so that's outside of the window. Not that it matters. He's going to join in the summer, ready for next season. We thought we were done. Just when they think you're out, they find a way to pull you back in. Guys, we're going to talk about that, plus Alejo Veliz right now. Please do me a favor, guys. Smash the like button on the video if you enjoy this sort of content. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And even if you have, double check that you still are. Because people keep finding out that they were subscribed and now they're not subscribed because of YouTube, not because of their intentions to unsubscribe. It's very frustrating for them. It's very frustrating for me. So double check you still are. Hit the notification bell and drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this particular bomber. 10 million euros plus add-ons. Let's start with figuring out what that looks like. It's probably, if we're entirely honest, it's probably going to be something to do with a sell-on fee in the future. Maybe 10%, maybe 12.5. That was the rumor that Barcelona were going to offer them 12.5. So maybe Tottenham have sweetened the deal. Maybe it was nothing to do with money. Maybe it was just about the pressure and the idea, or the pressure from Tottenham's agents, Tottenham's internal team. I think this one is more of a Johan Lange. It seems to smell a bit more of a Johan Lange. He's got the Scandinavian kind of orientation, and this is obviously a player that he has been looking at and heard about and looked at for quite some time. And apparently, guys, this guy is one wonder kid, a wunderbar signing that I'm super excited about. A midfielder. I'll be entirely honest, guys. I haven't had the time. I said to you before, I would take the time to go through the Y Scout tool to investigate what sort of player he really is, but haven't had the time to do that because I wasn't expecting anything more to be done tonight. But it looks like this is what this one is done. And from what I've seen, what I've heard about the guy, he is a box-to-box player that can play anywhere in the midfield. He is a player that looks fantastically comfortable on the ball. He's got a ridiculous wide-ranging pass on him. He's someone who looks incredibly comfortable driving with the ball forward from the deep and connecting the dots, connecting the team together, and can score a goal or two as well. Looks like he's very comfortable doing flicks and tricks. Supremely confident, talented young man. And this is quite the scout. Look, I'm more excited about what this means in terms of Tottenham's status. This window, look, it's been, for me, it's been a wonderful window in terms of outgoings. I was just on Henry Wright's show and we were talking about what would you give it out of 10 for outgoings and for incomings. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10 for outgoings, getting certain players off the books. I gave it a 7.5 in terms of incomings because I think we got what was asked of us done early. Ange wanted the early centre-back. He did it. And look, the FFP situation, it may have resulted in fewer teams being in the hunt for Radu Dragusin. But ultimately, that's a situation that Daniel Levy and the club have been patient in trying to figure out. And when we were one of the only few teams that could go in for this particular player, other teams that were looking for centre-backs, the likes of United, the likes of Newcastle, the likes of Arsenal, the likes of, you name it, most teams are looking for a centre-back. It's a highly sought-after position, probably second in priority to, or second in supply shortage to the striker role. And Tottenham obviously put their front foot forward and went in for it. But we weren't alone. We had to compete last minute late on with Bayern Munich, European giant Bayern Munich. And Tottenham managed to get it done. All Tottenham fans were panicking, were terrified that when Bayern Munich put in the late bid, of course they were going to choose. Of course his agent, of course the player would choose Bayern Munich over Tottenham. It's understandable, right? Look at the caliber and the historical success that Bayern Munich have had relative to Tottenham. But no, a phone call with Ange Postecoglou, selling the pitch, pitching the sale, pitching the dream of what this project is about was enough for Radu Dragusin to have his ears pricked up and his eyes set on Tottenham Hotspur. He came in early. Then Timo Werner came along. A lot of mixed bag of feelings about him. That's fine. Thought it was done. Even before this news came out, I said I think the incomings is a 7.5 because I don't know what else you can really do that's going to create massive waves in this particular season where we are right now, given the circumstances of the window and how difficult it is to get business done, and the fact that just because we're in a strong FFP position, sometimes there's bottlenecks in team squad numbers to be able to buy players and then be able to replace them. It's not that simple. So it was difficult to see too much more business being done this window, but we were well set for the summer. And I think we still are well set for the summer for the things we need for the first team. But this one came late. If it's true, if it is happening, and we're going to assume that it is, through a late press, a late push. Langer wasn't going to sit back and say, no, just because Barcelona want him, let's not give up the goose here. Let's fight for this player, sell the story, and it seemingly has worked. We have, in the space of 3 weeks, beaten off competition from two of the European giants of football. I think that is a statement. It's a statement in and of itself. Forget about the caliber of the player. Forget about whether he's ready and what sort of level he's at. Forget about all that stuff. The fact that Barcelona were desperate for him and then ended up losing, or hopefully, I hope I'm not speaking too soon, but hopefully will end up losing him to Tottenham is meaningful. That sort of output, that outcome, that has an energy about it that the next person is going to have their ears pricked up when two big teams are fighting for the same player. Tottenham now can go toe-to-toe with some of the bigger teams in Europe and come out on top when it comes to convincing the next best future superstars, hopefully, of world football to pick where they want to see their future play out, their initial future play out. I love to see it. Absolutely adored it. I'm so happy. The only thing I've got question marks over is what it was that made us be the outcome that was selected. Is it because we've guaranteed first team football? It does say on the tweet that he is going to join up with the first team squad. Does that mean that, is this the guy that's going to replace? We were looking at Artur Vermeeren. We were looking at Adam Wharton. Vermeeren went to Atletico Madrid. Adam Wharton ended up going to Crystal Palace, I believe. Other players like Hayden Hackney and Dan Neil, different sorts of midfielders. But are we looking at this guy and thinking that he really is ready for the future now? Or have we just sold him a yarn saying that he's going to come and join the first team, whereas Barcelona, according to the reports last night, will only offer him a kind of blend of a little bit of first team action, but really being put in the reserve team? By him joining the first team squad, what does that mean for Tottenham's pursuit of a Conor Gallagher in the summer? Is this in replace of that next level, that kind of ready now midfielder that can come in and really, replace a Pierre Højbjerg if he wants to go? Maybe, maybe not. I really genuinely don't know what level this guy is at. It's difficult to tell. What I would say, and I said it earlier on in my video, is you can't let the fact that he's got his debut for Sweden in a January winter friendly affect your thought processes, right? That I've spoken to the Swedish guys who support the channel have confirmed again in the video this morning that is something that happens every year. Swedish-based players get their debuts for their clubs in that particular window. It's their winter break because of the weather, so it's not that meaningful. But look, 17-year-old, look, from what I've seen of him, from the few clips I've seen of him, he really does look like he's a confident player with all of the skills, and the fact that he's been spoken of very fondly from all of the kind of scouts and the talent ID specialists around European football means that you hope that Tottenham here have got an absolute steal, and at £8.5 million, it's not a huge risk. It really isn't. I would say, again, I believe that the add-ons would be something around a potential sell-on fee, depending on what he does, and maybe guarantees around certain performances. You'll get paid certain money if the guy plays, say, 10 games or appears in 10 games of football in the first team next year. If we get into the deeper stages of the Champions League, if he plays in any of those games, maybe they'll get more money. But But in terms of a guaranteed risk, £8.5 million, it's not a lot in this game, especially if this guy turns out to be the level that you hope. It's a wonderful thing to see, and it's a wonderful piece of news to finish off what has been I would say, a very successful transfer window, guys. I will do a deeper dive on the Y Scout, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, hopefully, on when I've had a chance after this video is uploaded to look through it. I'll come and give you a little bit more insight on what I think about the player. In other news, guys, just to quickly round this video off, Alejo Veliz, another player that we bought in the summer, one of the South America's future brightest stars that we paid, what was it, about £10 million, £15 million for him. He's gone to Sevilla. Here we go. Documents just exchanged with Tottenham Hotspur to complete the loan deal. That was an hour ago from Fabrizio Romano. Medical test done earlier today as he arrived in Sevilla around lunchtime. No buy option. He's back to Tottenham Hotspur in June. Good news for him. Clearly, he's recovering well from his injury. I asked the question earlier today, why would he be going if he's still struggling with an injury? Clearly, he's on the road to recovery. He's not quite ready yet, but he'll be joining up with Sevilla. One strange, I think, outcome. I think there's a player that a Sevilla striker that was supposed to, I think his name's Mer, was supposed to be going to Valencia tonight. That deal fell through and the paperwork was changed last minute. He's also, as I say, was probably going to be a striker that Veliz was going to be replacing. So now you have question marks around if that guy is going to be staying and is of a higher caliber than Alejo Veliz, and does that restrict Veliz's minutes when he is fit in the Sevilla team? We don't know. But look, is there a threat? Is there a risk to us, not having Alejo Veliz on the bench or, for the rest of the season? Well, look, I don't particularly think so. I think you're going to have some back, and obviously you've got Richarlison that can both play in the 9, and God forbid something was to happen to one or both of those, I think you can still quite happily play Timo Werner in the 9 if necessary, and you can play Brennan Johnson in the 9 as well. So I think that Tottenham, and last ditch, if we absolutely had to, we can pivot towards Dane Scarlett. So I think it's important to consider Alejo Veliz's competitive edge. I think it will be nice for him to get some minutes in Spain. He obviously speaks Spanish, so it's good news for him. Good luck to him. Good luck to Tottenham getting the Ornstein bomber signed off on tomorrow when he turns 18 years old. And then hopefully everything will be done and dusted. I'm not sure what the Ornstein version of Here We Go is, but we'll find out from Fabrizio. It's exciting times, guys. Tottenham have hopefully got this kid in, whether or not he's ready for next season. The only question mark I have is, what did we promise in order to get the job done? But for me, wonderful news, wonderful way to finish off the window. I said before on Henry's show, before this came out, that I'm giving the window an 8 because of this news from Ornstein about Lucas Bergvall. I think that the number now goes up to an 8.5. He's obviously not going to affect us right now, but next season, Tottenham can cook. Hopefully he's ready. We will find out. For me, guys, I don't think we could have done too much more that would have affected us anyway. As I said already on multiple streams today, I think that Liverpool have an 8-point gap over us, which means that whatever Liverpool do, we have to win 3 more games if we were to qualify for the Champions, for the title, to be a title winner, which I don't think is going to happen. I think Manchester City will also be better than us. So for me, do we have enough in our squad right now, fully fit, or with the injuries that may or may not come, to qualify third or fourth for the Champions League? I think we can. I think we're going to finish 3rd above Arsenal, and I think Tottenham can then put all of our attention into finishing the puzzle in the summer with a sprinkling of stardust into certain areas. And the future is very much bright, guys. The future is very much lily white. I'm going to let you go right there. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, we are massive. Come on, you Spurs.